So I'm with Larry Kortkamp with the Kortkamp Group, and we are talking about all the challenges that are going on in our local businesses. These are real short videos just to put the face of the OBBM community and our local DFW community in front and center of the marketplace. Keep you guys active, give you as much promotion as possible. So, hey, Larry, with the Kortkamp Group, the host of Biz Pointz TV on the OBBM network, we're excited to have you here. How are you
Susan,
doing?
I'm doing good, Susan. Thanks for putting this together. I'm excited to be here today and looking forward to having our little short conversation.
Yes, so tell me what's going on with you in business. So with the new shelter in place, every area is now affected. Collin County just got in on that last night. So
You know, for
Murphy?
Yeah, for a large portion of businesses, particularly say in the consulting area or consulting industries, a lot of their business really didn't change too much for them because they're doing still a lot of remote assistance, remote calling, Zoom calling, but that's only a small percentage of who we work with. Typically, it's other businesses that deal with other clients that either come to visit or they have to go to visit them, or clients that come through the front door. And those are the clients that are experiencing some major, obviously some major changes to how they conduct their business life. Fortunately, in this era today of technology, similar to how you and I are talking today, we still have an opportunity to communicate with one another that didn't exist even short times ago. Just similar, for me, 2008 is very, very present in my mind, and what we went through or experienced in 2008 compared to today regarding this ability to still stay in contact with one another is light years difference. So in that respect, we are at least a leg up on what it was before. But let's face it, today is much different than what we did in 2008 in this weird situation of all of us being confined to our homes and trying to conduct business from here is definitely a challenge, no matter what business you're in or how you're normally doing it. So,
well, for you, what's your biggest challenge? What's the thing that you're seeing that's most pervasive?
For me, it was the interaction for me with potential clients for me or existing clients for me, people that I'm used to visiting in person, maybe to talk to them about their business or actually see things that are operating within their business.
Yeah.
That's been curtailed. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. So a large portion of the assistance that we would provide to a customer is having to change, and it's just not as effective as it is today. So it's definitely having an impact. And a lot of things we're tabling to another time in the future, doing what we can, but some of the things are obviously having to wait until things come back to a more normal situation.
So how are you rising to it now? Things are cutting back, but your space is really technology and operations. That's where you shine. You help people put those processes together, and today that's really, really important.
So we're taking this opportunity to do what a lot of times people don't have the opportunity or time to do, demonstrations. So we're doing demonstrations, live demonstrations, just like you and I are doing today. Let's showcase how you can convert your business from possibly something that is non-video oriented or this cloud-based communications oriented to some business that is now conducting business this way. So it's giving us an excellent opportunity to finally corner that particular business person or businessman, businesswoman that's usually too hectic in their day-to-day lives, getting them to actually sit down and now take a very hard look at this technology that maybe they didn't think was that important before, and now that importance is obviously being thrust upon them. So it's giving us an opportunity to demonstrate good technology for them.
It really is. And also, as we're noticing, even with this interview, there's something about the delay there, right? There's something about having to know where those pauses are with communication and making everything work right. So for instance, where normally in this environment, I would not have any problem just posting straight to Facebook and YouTube. We are going to go ahead and create this video and populate those, upload those instead, because we're not the only, and I'm not the only one like this, where multiple people in the home are using a significant amount of bandwidth. When you're doing a shelter in place, oh my goodness, it's taking up so much, and you start realizing all the little places that better technology choices might really help in the future. And we're not thinking about our home offices, I don't think, with enough regard to that kind of thing. And if this could happen now, it could happen anytime.
That's exactly right. And you talked about the delays.
Mm-hmm.
Having a cordial conversation like you and I are, and making room for the other individual to respond. You actually have to stop a thought, create a pause in order for them to actually contribute to the conversation. Otherwise, you have a tendency to just continue running on, because in real life, we have a tendency to overrun each other or interrupt. But in this case, you can't do that. But you point out some great opportunities here for a business to improve itself, not only at a home-based business, but also why it's important as a business to have excellent communication connectivity. So we try and stress to a business, for instance, whether it's at their home or at their business, but business in particular, to have the highest potential connectivity speed that they can possibly achieve. Obviously, they have budgets they have to stay in constraint to, but this really reinforces the differences between what we call an ISP or a connectivity situation for business. Is it a shared connectivity, or is it a dedicated connectivity? So when we think of a copper line or something that we have at our house, it's usually a shared connection. Whereas a fiber or something that's dedicated, you have dedicated bandwidth to you that isn't being used by your neighbors or someone else down the street. And within your own home, being able to partition off the devices and the people so that you have adequate bandwidth to service everybody's needs at any point in time within the day or night or whatever that happens to be. So this is a perfect time to illustrate why all that is important. Most people just don't get it typically, but now they're getting it. They're getting it very well.
And it's unfortunate that we have to think about it in terms of that it could happen again, but we do need to think about that. Uh-oh. Did that just happen? That sure enough did. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so check that out. We're frozen. And I know right now my husband's on a conference call and everything is going. So, and it's interesting because we can't really do much about the environments that we are at home when school is out, when there's kids in the house, So I've got, and we were talking earlier, this is not the environment for me to wear a suit. I've got a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old that want to crawl all over grandma. And it's just not going to work in that environment. And right now they're out swimming and that's great, but we've got windows open. Everyone's got that. We were talking earlier, lawnmowers. There's all of these things that are in this environment and really creating a space. I mean, we need to just get down with it. Everybody has a home office. When you move out, even when you've got another location, you have something you're officing in your home. We've got to rethink about, if this happened again, how would we be more flexible? How would we be able to morph into it a little more easier, so that we don't have some of the problems that we see? And I think it is a perfect way to illustrate where those connectivity problems are. Who knew you could even deal with that? And it also, in my opinion, Larry, when you're looking at some of the bigger companies, they're not offering the types of connectivity we need in our home offices.
Right now it is truly location based. So depending on where you are, you may or may not have the opportunities to have this connectivity issue that maybe someone that you work with or someone on the other end has. We're all hoping in the industry that this next leap of technology, which is going to this 5G space, that's going to overcome a lot of these current issues that we have, particularly on the home front. It may not solve everything on the business front, but personal communications or home communications, we're hoping to see a giant leap forward in connectivity. You talked before about pausing and latency. The one thing that we get with these enhanced speeds, like a 5G speed, is it virtually eliminates latency. So it virtually eliminates this issue, this pausing issue, because there isn't any. So everything becomes closer to a real-time conversation than you would normally. So that's not today, but it's already rolling out to a lot of different places within the city. So we're going to see these starting to take place, where you can have a much faster connection if I'm in downtown Plano than I'm going to have really in my home in most cases. So hopefully that will erase that. Now, as far as your situation, like you're dealing with at home, where you have only so much bandwidth and you got too many people using it, these very same issues happen at the office.
Well, we have business class, exactly.
Yeah, this is why we have different appliances in an office. So that's why a switch is necessary, or all these different things, because they allow you to what we call partition off the particular items that are being utilized. So if you have telephones that need this bandwidth in order to operate, then you partition off the phones to get the service first, and that way, Joe, if he's in the next office looking at YouTube, or if he's on another type of video call, he's not going to get as much bandwidth as the most important thing on the list. But if you don't have that piece of equipment, you're not going to be able to partition your connectivity issue that way. So
So that
all
looks
these things
like
are going
you have a solution. It sounds like you have some tips that you can leave us in the last few minutes that we can do a better job. And this is the perfect time to be rethinking our operations and really kind of taking an assessment, right?
it really is.
What you're telling
Yeah,
me.
these tips that our IT geeks have been trying to talk to us about for quite a while, but we just don't understand them, and it's sad in one respect that it takes a situation like this to really drive home the real life situation challenges that these guys or these people have been talking to us about for quite some time. So yes, you're exactly right. Get an assessment done. Have somebody that's a professional come in and figure out where you are, whether it's in your home or at your office. Have somebody come in and give you a correct, actual real-time assessment of what your connectivity issues are, what your equipment issues are, how they can help you to be more prepared for not only doing business in emergencies like today, but doing business on a normal day-to-day basis.
So can we do that with a shelter-in-place order?
It's not as easy, but yes, they can check out where you are and what kind of connectivity availability that you have. All those businesses are still up and operational, so most of that can be done. Now, as far as assessing what you currently have on site as equipment, that might be curtailed a little bit, but even those people are deemed whatever they're calling it now, the essential workers. So you can still get those people to come into your home if you want them to. So that might still be an option. But all the things we're talking about, yes, are still in force today and can be done today.
So Larry, how do people need to get a hold of you to be dealing with this? Go ahead and give us where do you want them to go? What's your?
I was going to say, in my case, because of my association with your network, obviously they can get me in a number of different ways. Biz Pointz TV, where we host our show and talk about these challenges all the time. So they can get me through OBBM. They can get me through my personal website at kortkampgroup.com. They can get me on the telephone. Give me a call, 972-824-8001. So I have a lot of ways they can reach me. And if push comes to shove, contact Susan at OBBM. She'll find me.
I will connect you. Yes, I will. So tell me this, Larry. You're the guy that knows who can help us with these assessments.
Wherever you are, I can connect you with whoever's going to do that job for you, because there's so many different facets of what you and I have just talked to and how that actually splits off into individual items. So it sounds like it's one cohesive thing, but it's not. It's actually a lot of different moving parts that have to be put together into what they call a system that operates well together. So it's called a UCAS system. It's called Unified Communications. So it sounds very technical, but really it's just putting together all the pieces so they work very effectively together.
And what does that type tend to run someone?
It can run very inexpensively. You can get some services that are very user-friendly. A good friend of our show is Ring Central. Ring Central is what we call a VoIP, or a voice over internet provider, but they also have CRM capabilities. They also have voice communications, video capabilities, like you and I are talking today on Zoom. Zoom is an integral part of a Ring Central situation. But there's also providers that do various aspects at different degrees of either difficulty or complexity for that particular account. So whatever your account needs, whatever you need as a customer, I'll help you find whatever that best application that suits that for you.
Excellent. Well, we have the most confidence in you, Larry. Thank you so much for sharing yourself today, friends. We want to know how things are going with your business. How are you rising to the challenges that you see? What are some of your fails? We're all having them. We're all experiencing them. And we're all having to morph as we grow into this space. And we could be here for a couple of weeks, so we need to. We cannot ignore being alive in business, because your business is vital. So make sure you're staying connected with others that are, and taking that vital time and taking that assessment. So we will be back again tomorrow. We are doing these every single day. I've even added an additional time slot now because this has been so popular, and we are getting booked. So you'll be able to find that link along with this video, and go ahead and register yourself and get on these interviews so I have an opportunity to share you through the OBBM Live through this special with our shelter-in-place order. Till next time, this is Susan Hamilton talking with Larry Kortkamp with the Kortkamp Group and Biz Pointz TV. Thanks, Larry.
Bye, Susan. Thank you.